the National Stadium. Demola, give us update from the National Stadium.
Okay, Precious, just a few minutes ago when I spoke on your view, the protesters were still here, of course, protesting, and I also made reference to that there are two protests that actually took place here. There are for and there are against, and of course, but the protesters, of course, have left this place. They were here as early as 8 a.m. To protest, and of course, one of their main agenda is the fact that the government should look at the issue of the fuel subsidy, and of course, the story about $1, and of course. Practically empty. Just a few minutes ago, there were many here, but if you can see, this place is actually empty. They've now moved down to the Eagle Square. I was at the Eagle Square earlier this morning. What we heard was that they were going to be at the National Stadium, but after finishing from here, they now moved down to the Eagle Square. We also heard that the police and the security agencies actually are there to guide them at that particular place for the protest.
All right, so Demola, I just want to be clear that it is the protesters who were at the National Stadium that moved to the Eagle Square. I heard you mention that, just to clarify that.
Yeah,
Demola, okay, all right.
First of all, the protest was supposed to happen at the Eagle Square. You know, because of the back and forth with the minister of FCT, but of course I think that couldn't happen. But earlier this morning we heard that they will be at the National Stadium, so they moved down to the National Stadium and not at the Eagle Square. But some protesters were at the Eagle Square, where some were here, but the majority of them were actually here at the National Stadium. So just a few minutes ago, they now left from the National Stadium down to the Eagle Square to continue the protest here.
All right. So the court ruling was at the National Stadium, and so some of them moved to the National Stadium. So I just want to clarify all that you said, that after the court ruling, some of them moved to the National Stadium, while a few went to the Eagle Square. All right. So also talk to us about how the police is managing, because we're saying, in some places, the for and against protesters. How is the police managing that situation? How do they manage that situation?
Yeah, so the police have tried as much as possible to manage the situation. At the time, he wanted to become rowdy because the protesters were saying that they don't need the police at the venue of the protest. But the police were also made them understand that they're actually here to maintain law and order so that things don't go out of hand. But the protesters said they don't know them, they don't want them rather. But the police have been able to maintain some level of discipline here. Even the protesters as well, they've been able to maintain some level of discipline. So there's also this back and forth between the protesters and the police. But at the same time, there was no violence, But just like 30 minutes ago, some set of people came and joined them here. So it became rowdy, but the police were able to manage them eventually.
All right, thank you, Demola, for that update. We'll get back to you for more as we turn our attention now to Bayelsa State, where a reporter is standing by, Joseph Kunde. Joseph.